Adobe Bridge is command central for managing your digital assets. It's fast, easy to use, and comes included with Photoshop. Let's find out more.
At its core, Adobe Bridge is a file browsing application. We'll see that it actually does much more than that, but the reason to use Bridge is to take control of your growing library of files. Note that I said files, not images. That's because Bridge can also display PDFs, page layout documents, audio files, and in CS5, even videos. First things first though, how do we get to Bridge? You can launch it from inside your Applications folder, but the beauty of Bridge lies in its tight integration with Photoshop. In fact, we can launch Bridge right inside Photoshop. To do that, move up to the Applications bar and simply click the Launch Bridge icon. Bridge can be a little confusing at first, so let's talk about the interface. A key to working with Bridge is understanding that the screen is basically divided into three main areas. On the left, we have a series of panels, and this is where you will locate or find images. In the center, we have a large content window. This is where the images that you have found or located will be displayed. And on the right side of here, most of these panels are going to allow you to add information to the images in the content window. Now, for the first time in this training, I'm going to be using images that are not included in your project files folder. Why? Bridge is best understood as a tool for managing large numbers of images. What I'd like for you to do is navigate to an image collection on your computer. How do you do that? Well, let's go to this Folders panel, and you can see here we have all of the volumes that are on my computer. Right now, I'm on a volume called Images. You navigate through your computer with these disclosure triangles. If you're like me, clicking on disclosure triangles to navigate is not a fun way to spend your time, so I'm going to show you a better way to do that. Click on the Favorites panel. Notice that in my content window, I have three folders: Canada, Italy, and Travel. If these are folders that I'm going to be accessing on a regular basis, I'm going to add them to my Favorites panel simply by clicking and dragging. There's the Canada folder. Here comes Italy. And let's bring over Travel. Now, whenever I want to access the images inside these folders, all I do is go to my Favorites panel and click. Here you can see all of the images inside the Italy folder. Just like Photoshop, Bridge has workspaces, so it's easy to change the arrangement of items on the screen. Right now I'm in the Essentials workspace. Bridge ships with many others, and you can create your own custom ones just like in Photoshop. I'm going to pull this workspace switcher out just so you can see some of the other choices available. And let's just click through a couple. We have film strip, metadata. Let's go over and see what keywords looks like. You've got multiple options for arranging the layout. Let's go back to Essentials. I want us all to be looking at the same thing. And to make sure that we're starting with the same view, I want you to right-click on the PC, control-click on the Mac, on the word Essentials, and select Reset. This will take it back to the factory default, and now your screen should be set up exactly like mine. In the content window, the images are very small. It's not very usable, so let's go down to our thumbnail slider and drag them and drag to the right to make these files larger. We'll go right about there. We can sort of see three files across. To the right of the thumbnail slider, we also have the option to view the images differently. We can see them in a grid. We can view them without the grid lines. We have details view, a list view, metadata view, many different ways that we can view the information in the content window. I'm going to go back to our View Content as Thumbnails option. I'd like to point out that at the top of the application bar along the right, we have a search bar. Bridge, though, ships with some powerful filtering and collection features, so we're not even going to use the search bar. Bridge really excels at customized searches. In the next lesson, I'll be showing you much more effective ways to find images. With our content window full of images, if we'd like to scroll through them, we can simply drag the slider and look through the images that are in this folder. But there's one more way to do this that I'd like to show you. If we go to the View menu, we can choose Review Mode. That takes us into a screen where we can cycle through all the images in the content folder simply by clicking on them. And we can navigate through one by one. That can come in very handy. To go back to our normal mode, simply click the X at the bottom right of the screen. And although we've set up favorite folders that make it easy to navigate from one set of images to another, if you ever get confused about where you are on your computer, I'd like to point out this file path bar that lets us know in this case we're in the Canada folder, which is located on the images folder, and so on and so forth. So you can always find your way back and move up one level. Now that we have at least a basic grasp of the layout, let's continue on to the next lesson and see what we can do in Bridge.